All right. Hey, Miss Liz, happy belated birthday. Hope you're enjoying yourself wherever you are. Oh, nice. Good, 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 good. All right, well, I want to welcome everybody that's here with us. We're everywhere now, Beth. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we are on YouTube all simultaneously now. We've got viewers tracking us and following us and participating with us right now on all four places. So we want to remind everybody, if you want to catch us everywhere, we are. Instagram, we are Call to Reason. That's the same on Facebook and YouTube, and on Twitter, we're Loveless and Beth. Loveless, the letter N, Beth. And you can catch us in all those places and enjoy it as often as you like, because everything we do that's here is archived as well. And so we want to welcome everyone that's here with us this morning. And we want to say that, listen, now that the voter registration period is over, the only conversation you should be having with other adults, or not maybe the only conversation, but a conversation you should make sure you do have and not fail to have, is whether or not they need a ride to the polls. Or if and listen, you don't have to wait till November 6th to give them that ride, because in most states, early voting is beginning next week, and you'll be able to start getting folks rides to the polls much sooner than November 6th. And we encourage each of you to do just that. This is the election. This is the election where we're going to find out if America is a cult or not. We're going to find out if the country has become a cult for Donald Trump, and all of us who are not should move or not. We're going to figure it out. Here we go, y'all.
Back to Call to Reason, your dose of common sense and reality radio, with your host, Loveless Johnson III, on KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk Leader.
I was a stranger in the city, out of town where the people I knew. I had that feeling of self-pity. What to do?
By the way, y'all, this is it's so cloudy in Santa Fe today. This is kind of a jazzy Sunday on Call to Reason.
But as I walked through the foggy streets alone, it turned out to be the luckiest day I've known.
One of my favorites.
A foggy day in London town had me low and had me down. I took the morning.
Welcome back to Call to Reason, everyone. You're right here with Loveless and Beth, and we are having a great time ourselves this morning with you right here at Talk 1260 and 103.7 KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk Leader. It is 8:24 a.m. and it's 48 degrees, on our way to a high of 51. Low of 27 tonight. It's going to be really cold in Santa Fe, and it's supposed to snow a little tonight too, Beth. We've already had a snow cap on the mountain already, and we're Wolf Creek ski area is already open, which is just north of here in Colorado. So we're ready for a smashing season. Smashing season. Speaking of smashing, Beth, Congress, this borrow and binge Republican Congress that we have is smashing all spending records, deficit creating records, debt load records. We come to find out they've added another $3+ trillion of debt to our economy, with yet another sneaky tax cut for the wealthy. Poor folks, working folks, middle class folk, me and you, that means me and you, y'all, we're not going to see any of that. But where we will see it, though, Here's how we're going to see it. We're going to see it as it leaves our pocket and goes to theirs. You'll see it that way.
So one of the things that we've discussed many times on the program, but since we've got this sneaky new tax cut, it bears, it's worth repeating. If you make less than 40 grand a year, your family does, you're going to see a tax increase next year. And if you earn $75,000 a year and under, the year after that, you'll receive a tax increase. So these tax cuts are not helping the people that Trump promised he would help.
The whole thing has been a sham, Beth, and the country is starting to realize that. America sees that it's a sham. America sees jobs being lost. America sees these tariffs combined with the interest rates and the inflation that it creates has taken away, even if you did get a tax break this year and you saw a little bit extra in your tax return, it's gone because inflation has hit you. These tariffs, everything is higher. If you're used to spending, if you're like me, Beth, on a strict budget, and you're spending, I was spending $35 a week on gas, right? Had to pay $45 for gas recently. That means stuff's going up. Any little benefit, that $100, $200 you got from the tax break, tax cut, which was a total sham, folks, that's going directly back out of your pocket now, thanks to this inflation, thanks to the higher price on everything with these tariffs. Have you not noticed how the little prices are going up everywhere on everything that comes from China? Thank you, Scrotus Trump. That is why, y'all. We're paying the price. We're paying the price of these shenanigans. And Beth, other than voting, what else can we do? Do we really have a choice at this point to do anything other than get the hell out there and vote?
No, there's nothing but voting right now. Well, there are other things besides voting. There's voting and driving your friends to the poll. There's voting and digging $5 out of your pocket and contributing to some of these races that are hotly contested. There's also picking up, contacting the campaigns you're supporting, making phone calls, knocking on doors. It's not just enough to vote this time.
No, it is not just enough to vote this time. We have got to. We got to
talk about what this is going to do to Medicaid and Medicare and all of these tax cuts for the wealthy. That money's got to come from somewhere.
Well, it's coming from senior citizens. It's coming from the least of these. It's coming from people who are most vulnerably sick. It's coming from people who worked 50 years and put their money into the system only to be getting ripped off by these borrow and binge Republican Congress. The evidence is clear, and so how much more do you need to see is what I have to ask all of those who have not made up their mind about voting. If you're not in the cult, then you should have already gassed up your car with a full tank, ready to go and be there like the new iPhone is coming out on the first day of early voting.
Right.
I need to see tents in line in the parking lot waiting on the polls to open on the first day of early voting. That's the level of enthusiasm we need, folks, because guess what? Our lives depend on it really, really critically right now. In my humble opinion, Beth, tell me another election where the stakes have been this high, because we've never been on a bubble, as I've said before. We are sitting on the crater. We're sitting on the floor of a crater, of a volcano. That's our economy right now. As soon as that crater floor cracks and the pressure explodes out, it's going to be an economic eruption, the likes of which this country has never seen before. Folks, the stock market gave you a little preview of just how unstable our economy is just this week. Almost 2,000 points lost over several days. Just giving you an indication of just how fragile this economy is with that little burst of fear that erupted in the market.
What do you think that this dip in the Dow is going to do to the 401k Republicans? The Republicans who have been holding their nose about Trump. They don't like what he says. They might not like some of his authoritarian actions that he's taken since he's been president, since he was on the campaign trail, which people failed to acknowledge then and still do. Mm-hmm. But what do you think is going to happen to the 401k Republicans who like their paycheck and who like their retirement accounts, and what's going to happen with them if this continues?
I think what's going to happen is pretty obvious, Beth. What's going to happen is they are going to, first of all, rationalize. They're going to blame it on somebody else other than Trump. They're going to rationalize it away during this election cycle. They're going to stick with Trump now. But the jig is going to come up in 2019 and 2020. And I think the disasters will be so irrefutable by then. Of course, we know the one thing that sinks any presidency, as it did President George H.W. Bush's, was a poor economy.
Yeah.
Trump is roaring along, taking credit for the momentum of the economy that Barack Obama put in motion. Trump acts like we were dealing with the Bush Jr. crash. Trump acts like he took over America in January of 2009 as opposed to January of 2017. That's been the great delusion he's been selling, folks. Like he inherited a huge mess and now he's brought it back miraculously in 2 years to record levels. No, folks, the economy was doing great when Barack Obama left office. You can act like a cult member and be delusional and like that's not real, but that's actually what happened in reality.
Yeah.
Trump inherited a great economy, and he's just not screwed it up. Or has he? That's the great question. Beth, we're going to take a quick break. Y'all stay tuned right here with us on Talk 1260 and 103.7 KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk leader. 49 degrees on our way to a high 51. We're almost there, Santa Fe. Y'all stay tuned to Call a Reason. We'll be right back. All right, everyone. Thanks again for being here with us on Call to Reason. I'd like to thank all our viewers here on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. Great to see you all. And Beth, I finally got all the cameras set up on one side of the room so I can look in one direction and actually be saying hi to everyone, which
That's
is
great.
That feels good.
So we had a few people join us. Maggie Garrett, a good friend of mine, I think she resides now in D.C., but has over the years, she's an attorney and has done amazing work for the ACLU in Georgia. That's what she was doing when we were hanging out together. My good friend Carol McDonald, I think she's also residing in D.C., is watching and has done amazing. She's a fellow organizer, Loveless, and did amazing work with Planned Parenthood for women's rights, LGBTQ rights, Black Lives Matter. She's everywhere and does everything. Brian Ives, a good friend of ours, is going to be joining us perhaps next week. Is here and is the expert in media in the music industry, so he'll be a really good and interesting interview. And also, my friend Jez DeWolf is tuning in and watching from Atlanta. Hey, Jez.
Hey, Jez.
She's my fellow David Bowie. Yeah, we're in total fandom together.
You all are members of the Church of Bowie, right?
Yeah, we're members of the Church of Bowie. Absolutely.
Nice. I want
What
to
are we
just.
going to be talking about next?
I want to stay on the dysfunction of this Congress, Beth. Trump is suggesting that uh, that they give Devin Nunes a Medal of Freedom for his investigative work on Mueller. it's pretty idiotic as it would be. I haven't seen idiocy so blatant in a while.
Well, the authoritarianism is what I've been thinking about this week. The proposed policy about curbing protesting in front of the White House, that's been disturbing. Also, the resurrection of the story about how Trump wanted to be able to track anti-cult members on Facebook. That story's returned this week. The fact that he is so intent on supporting and not bringing down Saudi Arabia in the face of what they've done to a Washington Post reporter, he kind of just took a step back and said, well, he's not American. Every week we seem to get farther and farther away from our ideals, particularly when it comes to free speech, and Trump just steps closer and closer to being a dictator.
Mm-hmm. He does indeed.
Now Nikki Haley's left.
Mm-hmm. And he keeps saying, he keeps saying that everyone wants Ivanka to be the new UN ambassador to the U.S. ambassador UN. No, not everyone. No, everyone doesn't. No one was even thinking about it until he said it, and all of a sudden, everyone wants her to be. Who is everyone? And why does he keep using such broad hyperbole? Like, we don't get that he has. Why does he treat us like we're so stupid, Beth? Does Roger Stone assume that we're that stupid?
I don't think that. I don't think they care about what the 60% thinks or wants. I mean, that's pretty evident. They have an audience of about 30% of our country, and so long as they think that Trump is brilliant, that's really kind of all they care about. It's an audience of 30% of the country.
Yeah, it's really crazy. It's really crazy. The biggest distraction, the thing that really bugs me the most, Beth, and the thing that kind of scares me as well, is just how these campaign rallies. We've been watching the rallies. The network news stations have begun to refuse to even cover these things because they realize that Trump, it just goes out and just lies with almost every single word he speaks. I was so aghast this week, and I'm glad I just thought of this because we should really just touch on it for a moment. How shocked were you, or how not surprised at all were you, to learn that Gannett, the big media company Gannett, who owns the USA Today newspaper, apparently they're in the same ilk as Sinclair Broadcasting. They are all about propaganda. They're all about delusion. And so they published an op-ed piece from Donald Trump, and that piece was a complete fabrication of fact and reality on every level. It was replete with lie after lie after lie, conjecture, no fact-based anything. And it was published in the USA Today as if though it were a legitimate editorial. It was a complete. I might as well have said, I just won $1 billion in the lottery in Saudi Arabia. I just got married to 42 virgins and inherited 1,800 private jets and threw that in the USA Today, and they published it. Nothing he said in there could have been farther from the truth. Everything he said in there could not have been farther from the truth. But it was published as if though it was reality, Beth, in a national newspaper. How does that even happen?
Yeah, so they did get a lot of backlash, USA Today did, and they ended up having to publish an addendum to the op-ed where they got the, factcheck.org to fact check it. But it was after it had been published, and they did supplement the op-ed with that information the next day, but the damage is already done. And
yeah, they knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah, and here's the thing is that, Sinclair Broadcasting got a lot of backlash about what they were doing to just essentially be a localized propaganda network like Fox nationally is. And now you have this. But the problem isn't just the overt propagandizing of our news media, it's also the subtle things that have been happening the whole time. And something you and I have talked about on our show a lot, which was we knew what we were getting from Trump the day he descended the golden escalator and declared that Mexicans were rapists, drug dealers, and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
We knew what we were getting.
Yes, we did.
The media knew what they were getting when they started getting banned from his public speaking engagements.
Mm-hmm.
And the press pool did nothing except for put little signs on the chairs keep them empty. And they still do not support their fellow. When Trump went after a couple weeks ago, the female reporter saying that she never knows anything, it was disgusting.
Oh, she never thinks.
And dismissing.
Yeah, she never thinks.
To her.
Yeah, he says she never thinks.
Yeah, that she never thinks. And where are the members of the media saying, you know what, Trump, if you're going to treat one of us like this, then we're all out. They don't do that. And you had Olivia Nunzi. I'll have to go back and look up her name, but she is a White House correspondent, I think, for the Daily Beast, and she got some sort of invitation to go to the Oval Office to talk to Trump directly about getting rid of John Kelly, the rumor mongering there, and she's writing, I can't believe that they're just spoon feeding me Capitol Palace intrigue, but you know what? She printed it all. She transcribed the whole thing, and even though she's maybe essentially mocking Trump and Sarah Huckabee Sanders for it, she still prints it, and it's still propaganda. And she prints it word for word.
Yes, she does. This
palace intrigue, Loveless, is what passes for news right now. And it's not just the overt authoritarian takes on propagandizing our news, but it's also the subtle things that are happening that we're just accepting.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Beth, we're going to take another short break. And when we come back, we're going to touch more on the economy. I don't think people get still, Beth, just how fragile this situation is with our economy right now. It is very fragile. You all need to know, and you need to get yourselves prepared because the next crash is right around the corner. If nothing else sinks this so-called ruler of the United States, this economic crash that is going to make the Great Depression look like happy days are here again. I don't mean to be Chicken Little, folks, but in this instance, that sky is going to fall. We need to get ready, and we need to start holding the people who have put us in this position accountable right now in 2018. We'll talk a lot more about it when we come back. You're with Loveless, and you are with Beth. You're on Call to Reason, and we'll be Right back after this break, 8:45 right here from the studios of Talk 1260 and 103.7. 48 degrees, holding steady. It's raining outside too. Looks like snow might be coming, Beth.
Wow.
Gonna have a good day today. Yes, it's early in the year. Gonna be a big snow season. Big snow season. Big ski season here in Santa Fe. Where we are from the studios of Talk 1260 and 103.7. You're on Call to Reason, and we will be right back.
Stay tuned for more Call to Reason, Santa Fe's Common Sense Checkpoint, here on KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk Leader.
Hello, I'm Dr. Jonathan Gimbel with Pinon Community Acupuncture at 1642
All
St.
right.
Michael's.
Hey, everybody. Thank you all for being here with us.
So James Washington just made a comment to remind us and to make sure that you are verifying your voter registration status daily. Yes.
Yes, please do, because good point, James. We're going to say that on the radio as well. These voter suppression efforts that have been going on in Indiana, in South Dakota, in Georgia, Texas, it's some serious cheating going on, folks. They're trying to do their level best to get the folks they know are going to vote them out off the voter rolls. It's the most
we
egregious.
We need to talk a little bit after the break, one of our segments, Loveless, about the voter suppression efforts, particularly the incident in Texas where a Democratic campaign person was arrested for bringing a letter about one of the historical black colleges in Texas is always doing battle there for their right to vote as residents in Texas, and the law enforcement tried to intervene to say that the students can't vote again, in spite of the fact that the courts over and over again ruling in favor of the students. And one of the campaign workers for a congressional person, I'll pull up the story when we bring it up in one of our segments, but he delivered a letter demanding that they let these students vote, and the police arrested him after asking what party he works for. When he affirmatively answered that he worked for the Democratic Party, they arrested him. I mean, this is an outrage.
Yeah, it is. And they've been doing that for years, Beth.
Yeah, that particular college, and I'm gonna run and get my computer and pull up that story. But I think that we really need to address a lot of the voter suppression that's going on nationwide, because they can't win without cheating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they can't. So I got to let me go grab some water real quick. We've got about a minute and a half, and we'll be back. So, Beth, can you keep everyone entertained just for a second?
I'll keep everybody hopefully entertained. Marissa just joined us from New Mexico. Hi, Marissa. Thank you for joining us. James, in addition to reminding all of us to check our voter registration status daily, better yet, just go ahead and early vote if you can, says, can you say oligarchy? Yes, I'm afraid we're all going to have to learn how to continue saying that in the future, James. And then he also adds that the wealthy elites will survive the crash. Yeah, it's going to be the middle class that takes the brunt of the economic downturns, as usual. So we're going to talk a little bit more later about voter suppression going on in the country with not just with the historically black colleges in this particular town in Texas, but we also are seeing it happen to Native Americans. There was a court ruling not too long ago, and we'll look this story up and post it later, stating that that states could impose regulations that they have to have a valid street address in order, as part of their valid ID in order to vote, but Native Americans in certain areas only have P.O. boxes.
Here we go.
KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk Reader.
These are some things we need to talk about.
It's a jazzy Sunday, y'all.
Good selection.
Hope everybody's having a good time with us. We're having a good time with you. Hello to all of you out here visiting on Instagram, too. I see you. Welcome back to Call to Reason right here with Loveless and with Beth. We're having a good time with you this morning, breaking down what's happening in the world. And Beth, there's so much chaos and turmoil and distress is gotten himself on a bone that's juicy, full of red meat. And he's digesting, and when he regurgitates it, it's going to be a hell of a story to unfold for the American people. I think the doom and the end of the Trump administration is coming sooner than later, and I believe it's going to include Pence as well, because he's been awfully quiet too. A lot is going on aside from these distractions, Beth. As we know, we've said before, we've got another big tax cut for working folks to have to absorb. The stock market is tanking, which is not good news for the 401k Republicans, and Donald Trump is blaming that on the Federal Reserve Chairman. He's saying that it's the Fed's fault, not his own policies, that are to blame for this economy beginning to crack, with the first sign in the stock market showing some major signs of instability. And this is only the beginning. Folks, I just got to ask you, just Beth, I think it's an appropriate time to pause and once again ask our listeners, when have you ever seen an administration, ever in your lifetime, in your parents' lifetime, in your grandparents' lifetime, where you could literally wake up every single day to a new scandal or some new fantastical piece of the farce known as this Trump administration? Every single day, there's some distraction thrown out to keep us from paying attention to what is really happening that day.
Well, I put a moratorium on myself
clicking on
anything having to do with Kanye West being in the White House. I just won't click on it. And before I launch into that, I just want to encourage people that when you start seeing these palace intrigue narratives about Democrats against Democrats, these are all things that are designed to discourage us. When you see people hand wringing and pearl clutching about the women who are protesting, and you see stories about how if the protests are just trying to push Trump supporters out to vote, those folks are going to vote, and they're a finite number. And when you see stories like that, that's propaganda. And when you click on it, you're just rewarding news media for putting that stuff out there. And so this week, my what to not click on was this whole Kanye West thing. And to your point, Loveless, that's exactly what happened. And that day, what happened? We started getting reports back from Hurricane Michael that there's high toll of people who are missing, hurt, and that there will probably be fatalities. We had that happening, and also on that day was the report about global warming and climate change.
And the stock market was losing almost 1,000 points.
Exactly. And so that's why you have like the Trump and his one-ring circus in the Oval Office. It's a one-ring circus there, and Kanye was there on display so that the media would have something to talk about it, and they fall for it. You know, it's like Lucy with the football and Charlie Brown thinking maybe this time she's going to leave it on the ground so he can kick that goal, and she picks it up every time, and the media falls for it every single time. Every time.
Yeah. Every single time, Beth. Every single time. And you know, we just, folks, stop falling for it. The media is going to keep doing it. There's nothing we can do other than stay in touch with reality, because we're not in touch with it right now. And I realize it's hard to be, and I'm glad the news media has stopped covering Donald Trump's rallies and his lies, because those rallies have just become complete propaganda shows. Nothing he says at those rallies are true. He keeps accusing Democrats of being an angry mob while the people he's talking to is chanting, "Lock them up! Lock them up! Kill them! Cut their heads off!" How upside down is it when Donald Trump has Republicans, has white folks hating the NFL and Harley Davidson and loving Kanye West? Think about it, folks. Donald Trump wants you to hate the NFL and hate Harley Davidson, American bastions, but love Kanye West. How upside down is that, folks? It's pretty bad. And cult members are buying it hook, line, and sinker, which is all the more reason why all of you who are not in the cult, you better be registered. You better be going to early voting.
I'm going to speculate about something on this Fox News issue, which is I think that they're not carrying the rallies because his rallies actually get our side cranked up.
Yeah.
And ahead of the
Yeah,
midterms.
his rallies clearly demonstrate what an angry mob looks like.
Yes.
You can't refute with your eyes, even though Trump says what you see is not real. Yes, it is. So on that note, Beth, we're going to take our news break.
Yeah.
And when we come back after the news, of course, Beth will be getting her throat cleared, getting ready to tell somebody who deserves it to shut the hell up. And I believe I'll go ahead and have my turn after her and tell another fool who deserves it to sit your ass down. I have a feeling I might be inviting a few folk to stand their ass up too, so we'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, you all stay tuned right here with us on Call to Reason. You're on Talk 1260 and 103.7, Santa Fe's News Talk leader, KTRC. We're going to take a short news break, and we will be back. Y'all stay tuned, 8:59 a.m. on a beautiful sunny Sunday morning, 48 degrees and showers here in the capital city. See you after the news, y'all.
You're listening to Talk 1260 KTRC AM at 1037 K279 CX FM Santa Fe and streaming live at santafe.com.
Vast devastation. Pope names saints. I'm Christopher Cruz. The death toll from Hurricane Michael is now 18 and is almost certain to rise.
And not a word from the White House, y'all. 18 deaths already and certain to rise, and we're not hearing anything out of the White House except there's no collusion except by Hillary Clinton with the Russians. So you know, this is the America that you all chose with your apathy, with your inaction. And certainly, my hope is that we don't choose it again. And we actually pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and start over again with a good set of choices. First with Congress. We've got to let the borrow and binge Republican Party know for a fact that we are not going to allow their shenanigans their shenanigans just are not acceptable. We can't allow them to do us like that. We just can't, right? The borrow and binge Republican Congress has pretty much bankrupted this country for the rest of our lifetime. And, it's going to be really devastating when the economy crashes again because of these policies, these tariffs, these awful trade, moves that are being made, all this turmoil that's being cultivated with these short-sighted, policies and all this rancor that's being created. Like this economy cannot survive what's happening. These tax cuts that are just draining the treasury. We're borrowing money at rates faster than they projected during this tax cut debate. Everything they promised us about it has just been a lie. We said we tried to tell you all it was a sham all along, and now the sham is starting to reveal itself because it's just getting worse. It's not getting better. It's just not getting better, y'all. So I don't really know what else to say except, what can you do? Except go vote. Right? Go vote.
Vote.
Go vote.
So, welcome Tamar from New York and Eric Poole from Atlanta. Good to see y'all this morning. So, Loveless, I think when we get back on air to put a bow on that Mueller conversation, there's talk about him replacing Jeff Sessions with Matthew Whitaker, who wants to kill the Mueller investigation. And so we should probably mention that on air and speculate a little bit about what Mueller is going to do in response or, after the election, because I imagine Jeff Sessions is probably going to be gone soon.
Yeah, he's probably only got a couple weeks left before they get rid of him. But all these acts of desperation, Trump, why is Trump telling so many lies? Why does he go to a rally and literally lie about every single thing? If the Republicans, if his track record, if he's doing such a great job, if he truly is doing that good of a job, why does he have to lie? If he's so convinced that the Republicans have done a great job, and of course they deserve support from the American people, why not just campaign on that? Why not campaign on those realities as opposed to literally letting every single thing that comes out of your mouth be a lie designed to make you look good and avoid looking bad?
Until this week, he could have just bragged about the economy every day. And he can still actually brag about the jobs numbers because those are good numbers, and any president would take credit for that. And so that's the thing that I can't figure out is that you have things to campaign on.
Right, and why aren't you?
Yeah, and that it's an excellent question. Why does he feel the need to do the smoke and mirrors and pretend that he's the Wizard of Oz?
I don't know. I thought maybe you could tell me. Because this whole thing has gotten out of hand.
Yeah. It's been out of hand ever since he announced he was running.
Yes, the oligarchy is, and now there was a report that says he had that he had he says he's lost $1 billion since he took office.
Since he became president.
Yeah.
That he, I read that report. And there's this organization, Crew, has launched another lawsuit against the president and his family for violating the emoluments clause. So that'll wind its way through the courts. But of course now, the Supreme Court's stacked. So if that ever finds its way to the Supreme Court,
here we go, Beth.
Here
we go. Sorry.
Is now. Open your mind to Santa Fe's non-GMO, purely organic source of common sense. This is Call to Reason with your host, Loveless Johnson III, here on KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk leader.
Happy talk, keep talking happy talk. Talk about things you'd like to do. You're gonna have a dream if you don't have a dream. How you gonna have a dream come true? Talk about a moon floating in the sky, looking like a lily on a lake. Talk about a
Welcome back to Call to Reason, everyone. You're right here with Loveless and Beth, 9:07 a.m. on a beautiful, rainy, showery, sunny, not really that sunny at all, Sunday morning right here in Santa Fe. We've got rain showers and 48 degrees on our way to a high of 51 today. It's going to be really chilly here in the capital city. Beth, you are in Virginia. Still dealing with the remnants of the hurricane over there?
There was flooding south of here, but you don't really see a whole lot of impact here in Charlottesville. The weather was beautiful yesterday, high of 63 and mostly sunny. Today it's mostly cloudy and it's going to be a similar temperature in the low 60s. They had their big homecoming game yesterday, so that, along with people watching and seeing the foliage in the Shenandoah Mountains, it's been a busy weekend here in Charlottesville.
Well, that's I'm glad to see there's some decent weather over there. Hope you're enjoying your time with your family.
Yeah,
Beth, what do you think about the fact that Melania Trump is now saying that she doesn't care that her husband has his alleged affairs are not a concern and focus of hers? Is she Stockholm syndrome? How far back does this set married women when the First Lady of the United States gives the president a pass to be a philanderer? If I read the article, and I read it 3 times, and I couldn't come up with any other explanation about what she was saying other than that.
Well, I think that that interview that she did on CNN where she said that, as well as that she's the most bullied person in the world, which is a load of bovine excrement, and somebody so absolutely tone deaf. Here's the thing, is that I don't think she ever really wanted to be First Lady. She wants to be married to a billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's like her priority. And everybody kept on saying things like, or there were jokes and memes about freeing Melania, how everybody kind of implied that, on the left especially, that she was trapped in a marriage that she didn't want to be in anymore. That's just a load of bovine excrement. She is all in on the Trump cult. Like, she is 100% all in. She's not a victim. She is bought into not just being his wife, but she's also bought in on his message. She said that jacket she wore that said, "I don't care to you," was essentially a message message to the left-wing media because they were bullying her. I find her outrageous. She's just like Trump. It's all about her. It's not about the United States of America.
Right.
It's
No.
just about her and how this is impacting her life. How she is serving our country. Where she's supposed to be serving our country as First Lady. That's her job. But the thing that she's the most concerned about is how it's impacting her and her life. That it's an imposition to her to serve the country. She's the wife of the most powerful man on earth. And she's upset because people are bullying her. If she did something besides pretend that, well, go on safari at the taxpayer's expense, complain and feel sorry for the elephants that her own stepkids are killing, I don't get it. I don't understand what she's doing or what she was doing in Africa. I don't understand CNN interviewing her and giving her a platform to say nothing. So that's like my take on this whole Melania Trump interview thing. I mean, what was your takeaway?
Same, and the fact that she then followed that up by claiming she could say she was the most bullied person in the world. I mean, if that wasn't a crock of bovine excrement, as you say, spoiled brat, are you kidding? She's the most bullied person in the world. No, you're married to the biggest bully in the world, though that's real. You could have said that. And perhaps because you're married to the most egregious bully on earth, perhaps you saying that you are the most bullied person in the world is a secret cry for help. Was that a coded cry for help, Beth? Was that saying, help me? I'm the most bullied person in the world because I'm married to this idiot Donald Trump.
Hell no, Loveless. It's not a cry for help. She's all in.
Yeah, I think she's all in too, Beth.
She's all in. She is all in on Trump's agenda. She was all in on birtherism, never apologized or took it back. And guess what? Donald Trump eventually did walk it back. You know who did not? Melania Trump.
That's
She's
true.
all in. She believes in this.
Unfortunately,
so
she
the
does.
idea that she's some sort of a victim of Trump and that she's trapped in a marriage that she can't get out of, that's bull.
Mm-hmm. Well, Beth, before we go to the next commercial break, I want to, and let me remind everybody, after this next commercial break, Beth is indeed going to tell somebody who deserves it to shut the hell up. But I wanted to just offer another sobering reminder, Beth, to our listeners and our viewers on social media, exactly why we do what we do and why we think it's so important for voting to happen this year. I'm reading an article here, Beth, that was published in the Washington Post. Okay, it's an article that says new data makes it clear non-voters handed Trump the presidency. Non-voters handed Trump the presidency, y'all. Because 60% of the people almost didn't vote. And guess what? We cannot allow that to happen in 3 weeks, in 2 weeks. We cannot ever allow that to happen again because we know now that the crazies, the most crazy, radical, wingnut folk on either side of the aisle, we cannot let those be the only people at the polls deciding the future of our government and of our local government, of our state, of our city, of our county, and especially not of our country. We cannot allow the radicals, the demagogues, to control our outcomes because we know they're going to vote. We know they'll be there. That woman with the shirt hand-painted that says, Trump can grab me by the big arrow pointing down to her genitalia. Yeah, that woman, she'll be at the polls.
Yes, she will.
Will you? Will you? That 75-year-old pastor running for Congress who thinks pedophilia is natural and of the Bible. He'll be at the polls. Will you? Folks, we have never had a more critical election in our lifetime. And I know that sounds very cliche, but I need you to prove me wrong if you think it's a cliche. It's absolutely not a cliche. And new data makes it clear, Beth. Non-voters handed Trump the presidency. Not the Russians. The only reason why what the Russians did worked is because so many of you stayed at home.
Well, because so many people listened to the Russian bots and stayed home as a result. They listened to the bots saying, oh, there's no difference between Trump and Hillary Clinton. I think it's pretty clear that there's a stark difference between the two of those in the last 2 years. And the reason why those bots were there and they're still there to try and make people stay home. They're trying to tell people, oh, there's no difference between Democrats and Republicans. There's no difference between these two candidates. And let's be clear, while we have, and Loveless and I both have been critical of both parties, particularly me against the Republicans, but you've heard it here on Call to Reason. We've been critical, but that does not mean we're telling people to not vote. And the more you vote, the more you have representation, and the representation you deserve. So
that's right, everybody. You simply
to the bot.
you simply cannot not vote. You just cannot not vote. This election is way too critical. Every voice must be heard because we need common sense to come back to accountability in government. I'm tired of seeing these cult member wingnuts be the only ones with a voice in the process because they're the only ones that take the time to actually show up to vote.
And Loveless, that's oppression. We have 30% of the people and their priorities governing 60% of the people.
That's correct.
That's oppression.
That's correct. Beth, we got to take another short break, so I need you to go ahead and get yourself ready because, folks, when we come back, Beth is indeed going to tell somebody who deserves it to shut the hell up, and I cannot wait to see who that lucky winner is going to be this week. You're right here with us at Talk 1260 and 103.7 KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk Leader, 9:18 a.m. You're on Call to Reason, and we'll be right back.
Stay tuned for more Call to Reason, Santa Fe's Common Sense Checkpoint, here on KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk Leader.
Relax, refresh, renew. Relax in the serenity of Seventh Ray's signature facial. Refresh with our double cleansing and enzymatic treatments. Renew.
All righty, everyone. Thank you once again for being here with Loveless and Beth on Call to Reason. And we are just having a good time being here with you. Not really sure what happened to our Instagram feed, but it should be coming back here shortly. Thank everyone who has tuned in, and let me see if I can read a few comments while we have a chance.
James has been commenting a lot today.
Thank everybody who's been sharing as well. We've got 14 shares already today on the Facebook broadcast, Beth. So the word is getting out. Let me see what's going on with this Instagram feed.
I'm pulling up the stories relevant for my Shut the Hell Up.
Oh, I see what's going on. So let's this is also you know, Beth, it's probably a good time for me to pause and acknowledge, for those who know my mother, this is probably my mom's saddest day in life ever. Because this is the day my sister passed away.
Oh,
31 years ago, Beth.
I can't believe
My
that.
sister Dana has been gone for 31 years today. It's also my cousin Cecil's birthday, so happy birthday, cousin Cecil. And rest in heaven to my sister Dana. She was a beautiful soul. We miss her every day, and today marks 31 years of her being gone. So I got to call my mama today and make sure she's okay. Thank everybody for being here with us. Here we go, Beth. We got about 30 seconds left. We'll be back. And folks, Beth is getting ready to tell somebody to shut the hell up. So I hope y'all will enjoy. All right, here we go, y'all. 15.
And steady interconnected systems of power. Tickets available at the Lensic 988-1234.
Got a beautiful jazz Sunday going for you here.
Visit Lanham.
Awesome.
Playing some great jazz classics.
Back to Call to Reason, your dose of common sense and reality radio, with your host, Loveless Johnson III, on KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk Leader.
I thought I'd found the man of my dreams. Now it seems this is how the story ends. He's going to turn me down and say, can't we be friends? I thought for once it couldn't go wrong. Not for long, I can see the way this ends. He's going to turn me down and say, can't we be friends? Never again, through with love, through with men, they play their game without shame, and who's to blame?
Welcome back to Call to Reason, everybody. You're right here with Loveless and Beth at 9:23 a.m. Beautiful, rainy Sunday morning here in Santa Fe, where we have 48 degrees on our way to a high of 51. So not much further to go. Going to be chilly here in Santa Fe, and low of 27 tonight. We're expecting some snow showers. If it keeps raining, it's going to get snowy. So you all stay tuned for that. It should be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of fun here in New Mexico's capital city. I'm excited because that means that ski season is right around the corner, and I'm going to be getting on a snowboard this year, Beth. I cannot wait. Beth,
Sounds like a good time.
it is.
I'll be at the ski chalet.
It's a great
Drinking my
time.
blue wine.
It's going to be a great time, but another good time I always look forward to is this time every week when Beth gets her chance to tell somebody who deserves it to shut the hell up. So, Beth, just who is going to get it this week? Inquiring ears want to know.
So, this week, people who are seeking to suppress voters, particularly voters of color, are indigenous people who are seeking to vote, and so I just want to. I'll launch it by just sort of giving everybody an overview about what is happening to people who desire to vote in this election. This is from the Statesman newspaper in Austin, Texas. A dispute over registration mix-up at Prairie View A&M University, and this university is a historically black college, led to the arrest of a campaign worker for Mike Siegel, an Austin Democrat seeking to oust Republican U.S. Representative Mike McCall this weekend in Waller County. Fearing that students at the historically black school could be discouraged from voting in the November 6th election, Siegel sent Jacob Arnowitz, a regional field director for his campaign, to the Walker County Courthouse on Wednesday to deliver a letter from Siegel demanding that the voter registrations of about 300 students be updated to correct recently discovered mistakes with their addresses. The Siegel campaign said Anowitz snapped a picture to prove he had delivered the letter. Shortly afterward, he was prevented from leaving the building by officers, one of whom asked what political party Siegel represented. After identifying Siegel as a Democrat, Arnowitz was arrested, the campaign said, by the Waller County Sheriff's Office. Waller County Sheriff's Office, you can shut the hell up because you are oppressing people by preventing them to vote. These students followed your directions, and now you want to say because they're black and they're students that somehow they're not permanent residents and they don't get to vote in the town that they live, where they go to school, where they pay money to go to school, where they pay sales taxes and whatnot to live there. Waller County Sheriff's Department, shut the hell up. You know who else needs to shut the hell up? Brian Kemp needs to shut the hell up. Not only does Brian Kemp need to shut the hell up, he needs to step down from his position as Secretary of State in Georgia because essentially he's a fox guarding a hen house. Civil rights groups sue him over 53,000 pending voter registrations. And these voters, guess what? Nobody's going to be shocked to hear this, are predominantly people of color. Brian Kemp, you shut the hell up. You know who else needs to shut the hell up? Are the courts that made it possible. The Supreme Court enables, so the Supreme Court needs to shut the hell up because they are enabling mass disenfranchisement and enfranchisement of North Dakota's Native Americans. Why? Because Native Americans in this particular area don't actually have street addresses. Why do they do that? Because the U.S. government forces them to have P.O. boxes. And what did the Supreme Court say? They said that North Dakota, where Heidi Heitkamp is running a very close race for the U.S. Senate, her race is close, and she needs those votes. And who do Native Americans typically vote for? Democrats. So you know who else needs to shut the hell up? Our newly stacked Supreme Court, and especially Kavanaugh, needs to shut the hell up. So everyone who's trying to suppress the votes of Native Americans and people of color because you can't win without cheating, because you can't win elections without cheating, you need to shut the hell up. You know what's going on is that this is the first time we've had a president who was not elected by the popular vote, and also because of how the Senate is made up, that they get two elected senators per state, regardless of the population. This is the first time that we've had a Supreme Court installed by a minority in our country. It's the first time. And you know what that is? That is oppression. When the will of the voters are being denied, and not only that, but they are being prevented from registering to vote, when they're being prevented from voting because their name might be, one initial might be off. And who does that negatively impact the most? People of color.
That's right.
All of these people need to shut the hell up and let the voters cast their ballots. And if you lose, go the hell home. Shut the hell up and go the hell home. If you cannot win without cheating, you need to shut the hell up and go the hell home. That's all I got to say.
Well, I guess y'all heard that. And it was right to hear. I'm glad I heard it, Beth. Thank you for that. And let me just say, yeah, y'all shut the hell up. Beth is right. All this voter suppression is just proof positive that the Republicans are running scared. They're desperate. They know their goose is cooked. They know we don't like what they're doing. And they're doing everything they can to stay in power by simply cheating all of us out of the votes that we use to get them out. They're trying to make sure we can't even make those votes. And Beth is right. They need to shut the hell up. And when we come back, because Beth, I got to take a little short commercial break now. But when we come back, we are indeed going to take a moment so that I may invite a really egregious idiot to sit your ass down. And I may even ask a couple folks to stand your ass up too. So y'all stay tuned. You're right here at Talk 1260 and 103.7 KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk Leader. It is 9:31 a.m. and we will be right back.
Stay tuned for more Call to Reason, Santa Fe's Common Sense Checkpoint, here on KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk Leader.
My name is Ian, and I can truly be myself at Desert Academy.
My name is Lucy, and I feel like I can take charge of my education at Desert Academy.
All right, y'all. Thank you all for being here with us once again. Thank you for hitting that share button, as I see many of you have. If you haven't, please take a moment to do so. Down there somewhere, whether you're watching on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or Twitter. We're here everywhere, so hit the share button. Let everybody else know that it's a good time for them to join Team Red Pill, because Loveless and Beth are doing what we do to bring you a healthy dose of common sense and a realistic alternative to alternate reality. Beth, I'm going to play right after this break, before I tell some folk to sit your ass down. I'm going to play what I believe is the most realistic, entertaining political ad I've seen this year. And it's out of Texas. Of course, it's out of Texas. And it's a for Beto O'Rourke commercial questioning Ted Cruz's assertion, that he is as tough as Texas. Yeah, good old boy calls into direct question whether or not Ted is as tough as Texas.
And you know what, Loveless? We've actually mentioned this before. We actually, the content of that ad, we've actually discussed on the show before.
Yes.
It was ever an ad.
Yes.
We pointed this out, I have to say, some time ago.
We actually they must have been listening to Call of Reason and then made the ad, because we pretty much said it ourselves.
I'm sorry, but that's our content.
Yeah, we seriously did say it exactly the way the commercial came out. We invited people of Texas to consider that Ted Cruz isn't tough at all, because he let Donald Trump call his wife a dog, and call him a liar, and call his daddy a conspirator to kill Kennedy. And then he had Trump down in Texas to kiss that booty for a few votes. Look yourself in the mirror, ladies and gentlemen. If you're here with me right now, look yourself in the mirror. If you're here with me and Beth, would you allow somebody to call your wife a dog, or your husband or your mama a dog, and call you a liar repeatedly and talk about you everything but a child of God, and still invite them to come be with you to help you campaign? How could you possibly have any integrity in your body, any self-respect in your body?
How could you look at your wife in the face every day?
How could you look in your wife, whom he called a dog, in the face every day. How could you? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
That's me.
Me too. All right, here we go. We got 10 seconds and we're back, folks.
Hey to my cousin's husband, my cousin-in-law, Pete Barker, and also Mike Tanner just joined us.
Good to see y'all. Hit that share button. Here we go.
Now back to Call to Reason, your dose of common sense and reality radio, with your host, Loveless Johnson III, on KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk Reader.
Welcome back to Call to Reason. You're here with Loveless and Beth. And Beth, I want to play a clip of a television commercial that finally got produced. You and I were talking about this over the break, how the good folks, Democratic Party consultants down in Texas, must have been listening to Call to Reason a couple of weeks ago when we jumped all over Ted Cruz claiming he was tough as Texas. And we pointed out all the reasons why he was indeed not as tough as Texas. And some good political consultants down in Texas must have been listening to Call to Reason that day, because they just made a pretty bright commercial that I just tickled me to death. And so I thought it'd be appropriate to play for all of you.
I think it's good.
Let's get a whirl and see just what some Texans think about Ted Cruz's claim that he is tough as Texas. Y'all hold one for this. You're going to love this, y'all.
On my door the other day, is it Ted Cruz tough? Somebody left something on my door the other day. Is it Ted Cruz tough as Texas? I mean, come on. If somebody called my wife a dog and said my daddy was in on the Kennedy assassination, I wouldn't be kissing their ass. You stick a finger in their chest and give them a few choice words. Or you drag their ass out by the woodshed and kick their ass, Ted. Come on. Ted.
Political ad paid for by FTC PAC. No.
Come on. Come on, Ted. Yeah, if that doesn't get Texas's attention, then Texas might not be that tough, because that was funny. Ted Cruz is a wallowing weasel, and Trump, forced him to prove it by capitulating and kissing his rear end while campaigning for re-election to the Senate. Trump has forced, and Omarosa was right. You remember she said, everyone is going to bow down to President Trump. You remember when she said that?
I remember when she said that.
Now,
I found it to be scary at the time. I was scared. I believed her.
Listen, I thought it was very ridiculous when she said it. But in the context of the Republican Party, that is exactly what indeed has happened.
Absolutely.
Every single Republican out there has bowed down to dictator Trump. And they all have shirked their responsibility, abandoned the oaths of office that they took to honor, protect, defend the Constitution of these United States at all costs against all enemies, foreign and domestic. All of them have turned their back on that oath. And the most remarkable thing about it is they're now treating the patriots who have noticed that they have turned their backs on their oaths of office. The patriots who are saying, wait a minute now, whoa, what's going on here? This is not how our government was designed to work. This is not in the best interest of American people. This doesn't make us indivisible, one nation under God with liberty and justice for all. This is some fascist crap, and America is not a fascist nation.
Didn't used to be.
No, it didn't. So the capitulation is almost complete. Well, it is complete for the Republican Party. And their contortions and twists and turns to try and justify all of Trump's behavior, all in the name of their most sincere desire just to simply protect, preserve, and expand white privilege and white supremacy more than anything else. And here we are, once again, dealing with whether or not we have enough resolve as a nation to do something about it. Here we've seen women, once again, be slapped in the face very hard. Down south, they would say that the women have had the taste slapped out of their mouths. And as a casual observer, I'd say I'd have to agree. But the question is, what are women going to do about it? I hear you talking, ladies. But I don't see, I see a lot of marches. I see a lot of protests. I see a lot of clever signs. I see a lot of fancy new hat designs. We've got pink cat ears one day. We've got safety pin heads the next. But on election day, somehow all that enthusiasm seems to be missing. Because the votes to back up all that enthusiasm seem to be lacking. They certainly weren't there in 2016. It always perplexed and befuddled me how women could let Hillary Clinton lose the election and then show up on the day after Trump's inauguration like they're really mad. Where the hell were y'all in November of 2016? And where the hell will you be on November 6th? And even on the first day of early voting? Where are you simply knitting another hat to protest come next January when your lack of action results in another victory for these Republican borrow and binge Congress? All of you protesters, all of you hellraisers who love to share memes on social media but are not registered to vote, sit your ass down. All of you women, and I'm calling you out, who talk a good game but will not be at the polls on November 6th, sit your ass down. You're not helping anybody with all of that. I'm sick of these protests, these marches, all these clever Twitter posts. Go vote, man. It's as simple as that. We don't need your clever meme. We need you to go vote. I don't need another sign with a clever phrase on it and a cute cat hat. I need you to go vote. I don't need another hashtag about somebody mattering or not. I need you to go vote. Because that's all that matters. Stand your ass up, America, and get to the polls. Early voting starts as early as this week coming up for some of you. Make sure you form lines like the new iPhone is coming out. And get to the polls and vote. All the rest of it is nothingness. Nothing. If you love this country for real, if you love your children, if you love yourself, get to the polls and vote out these borrow and binge Republicans. They passed almost $8 trillion of tax cuts for the wealthy on your backs. Who do you think is going to pay for it? Grandma is going to pay for it, starting right now. As soon as you reelect them with your apathy, they're going to go cut Social Security, Medicare, just rip grandma to pieces. All if you don't vote. And I'm not suggesting that we won't hold the Democrats accountable if they get voted into the majority and don't do the right thing. I keep telling y'all, both these political parties are the devil. Both these political parties mean none of us any good. They're all part of a corrupt system of which the construct needs to be reconfigured entirely. All we can do as citizens is hold them accountable with our votes. And I am imploring, literally begging every one of you, get your ass up and get to the polls. Your life literally depends on it. Literally. So I don't even know who I told to sit your ass down today, Beth, because I'm so upset about all of it. I'm upset that black folks are still getting harassed by white people for just doing normal things. Brother in Georgia here, you know, running a great program for troubled, emotionally troubled youth who don't know how to fit in. This young man has a program for those kids. 80% of his enrollees happen to be Caucasian, but they're all doing better in school, doing better in life. His program has been awarded. He was driving two of his program participants, whom he was babysitting, got harassed at the Walmart parking lot. This woman followed him all the way home and called the police saying she needed to do a safety check on these little white kids. What kind of upside down world are we living in now, Beth, where it's white folks get scared for black folk? Do they not realize that black folk been taking care of white folks' kids since slavery? And all of a sudden now we can't drive them around? What? I'll tell you a funny story. My grandmother, who was dark-skinned, Mary Hill, had 6 children with a man who looked like a white man, Robert Hill. Half her children look white too. My mother looks like, you met my mother, she looks very light. And when she was very young, she looked like a little white girl. So my grandmother, Mary Hill, used to go to all the whites-only restrooms all over the South because they thought that she was babysitting her daughter. So of course that little white girl can go into the white restroom. My grandmother just went on ahead with it. It was hilarious to those stories. Anyway, folks, I digress. We've got to take another short break. And when we come back, Beth and I are going to have a good time with you, talking about our winners and winners. Beth, we're going to take a quick break. Will you stick with me?
Absolutely.
All right, y'all stay tuned right here to Call to Reason. You're on Talk 1260 and 103.7. It's 9:49. This is going to be a quick break and then another quick one before we take off.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand.
Stay tuned for more Call to Reason, Santa Fe's Common Sense Checkpoint, here on KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk Leader.
So, Loveless, that situation actually happened to me when I was 13 or 14. One of our family friends, they were a black couple, and the husband was making sure that I was making a connecting flight, that I didn't miss my flight because we were on the same flight. So my parents made arrangements for him to meet me, and so we were like flat out running across the airport so that we could make the flight. We made it. We were sitting together and we were like, oh gosh, I can't believe we made the flight. Meanwhile, I'm like 13 or 14 years old, and this guy across the aisle was staring at us. And like, I didn't know, and I'm like, that man's staring at us. And Vincent was just like, just ignoring. And then when I was getting my bags and my mom was like across, and so I was on my own, that man came up and started harassing me, asking where my boyfriend was. And I'm like, I don't have a boyfriend. Like, I was just confused and didn't understand what he was doing. And then my mom saw him yelling at me, and she came over and she's like, is there a problem? And then it hit me, and I'm like, well, he thinks that Vincent is my boyfriend, and he's yelling at me. And my mom, you know, she turned all mama bear and like lost her mind. But people, mind your own damn business.
I know, right? It's crazy.
Yeah. But that was, I wonder what happened. I never saw a follow-up of that story of the man in Atlanta. Did you?
No, I think what happened, they just you know, they yeah, the parents were outraged, of course.
Yeah.
And the parents just,
you have to feel sorry for the kids too, because they're like dragged into some adult crap that, you know, that's got to be strange for them too.
no, the kids were confused. Everybody was, I mean, the whole thing was just very upsetting.
So our friend Jez DeWolf says, keep up the great work. Thanks, Jez. We're doing our best.
Thank you, Jazz.
So we'll have to get Theron back on to talk about the Stacey Abrams campaign. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with those 53,000 voter registrations on hold, and how her campaign's just doing overall.
Right. Okay.
We about to go back on?
Yep.
Oh, Marissa joined us. I forgot to say hello to Marissa.
Okay, yep, we got about 30 seconds, and we're going to come back for our final little winners and winners, and then we're going to take it on out.
Who's your winner today, Loveless?
The people who produced the TED ad.
Commercial. That ad was hilarious.
Okay, we got 1 minute. 1 minute.
Some of these things provide the water we drink.
You know, I think all the people fighting voter suppression are my winners.
Yeah. The ACLU argued that Supreme Court case that I mentioned earlier. So, and James says that Trump only cares about his 35%, what his 35% base will believe.
Here we go.
As long as he gets full support.
That's right.
Yep.
Dose of common sense and reality radio with your host, Loveless Johnson III, on KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk Leader.
9:55 right here at Talk 1260 and 103.7 KTRC Santa Fe's News Talk Leader. You're Loveless and Beth on Call to Reason, and it's time for us to take it on down the stretch and wrap up. We're going to give way to Meet the Press coming up next, but before we do, Beth, who are your winners this week?
So, my winner this week is Richard
Branson.
Because he said Thursday he's pulling back from 2 tourism projects in Saudi Arabia and has suspended discussions with the Saudi government about a $1 billion investment in Virgin Space Companies. The British billionaire and founder of the Virgin business empire said in a statement that he was stepping away mounting questions about the kingdom's role in the disappearance of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, who apparently was tortured and murdered at the Saudi Arabian consulate in Turkey. And so Richard Branson apparently has the stones to do what Trump will not do, which is to call it out and also threaten to sever business ties. And here our own president said, who cares, he's not an American. And I also just wanted to voice my appreciation to journalists all around the world who put their lives on the line to deliver the truth to people in the world.
Right on, Beth. That makes a lot of sense to me. My winners this week are the producers of the political ad, questioning whether or not Ted is tough as Texas. All the people who are fighting voter suppression. Folks on the ground like my friend Stacey Hopkins in Atlanta. People suing these Secretary of States, especially the most corrupt ones running for governor, trying to keep us out of the ballot box. I salute all of you who are fighting that battle. It's essential, and we won't be able to win it without you. So you all are indeed my winners. Keep up the good fight. Go vote, everybody. Beth and I will be back next Sunday, of course. We'll be doing some podcasting this week. Call the Reason, CTR on the side. You all stay tuned for us next week. We'll be back. In the meantime, Meet the Press is coming up. And make sure you tune in every Monday through Friday from 1 until 5 for the Richard Eads Show. The Voice of Santa Fe is on every day, and we love him too. We will see you all next week. Beth, I love you.
Love you.
And I love you, Santa Fe. I love you, world. Team Red Pill is your source, your alternative to alternate reality, your healthy dose of common sense. We love you, and we'll see you next week right here on Call to Reason.
Bye, Team Red Pill.
All right. All right, y'all. Thank you all for being here on Call to Reason. We'll see you again next week. Blessings, everyone. Hope you all have a great week. Make sure you start talking to folks about voting. Early voting starts Tuesday here in New Mexico. Get your ass to the polls. Don't make me come over there. We'll see y'all soon. Peace and blessings, y'all. All right, thank you again, everybody, for being here. Thank you for being on YouTube. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. However you watched it or listened, we hope you enjoyed it. Thank you again. We'll see you next week.